The original movie Airbud is often remembered as a concept and not as an actual movie. For a movie that's so fondly remembered about a dog that plays basketball, it hardly features a dog playing basketball. He only plays one game in the final 10 minutes of the film. For the other hour and a half of runtime, it's misery, production mistakes. What does this mean? And a word I'm not allowed to say this early in a YouTube video. There's a lot to unpack here, but let's just get straight into the 1997 film, Airbud. We start by following a clown and his dog, and there's something special about this dog. I don't know why, but I just think he's some sort of athlete. I don't know what it is. The clown is driving to do a performance for children, which goes horribly.
Hey kids, it's happy slappy time!
Almost too horribly.
When I'm with you.
I refuse to believe he's ever done clown work before. I'm questioning his right to clown. Not only is the clown incredibly clumsy, but this is like the second dialogue in the film.
Do not make me use this, okay?
The clown can't juggle or make balloon animals. He is cartoonishly bad at his job. Again, I'm questioning his right to clown. Anyway, he does his part of the performance. The kids hate him. He brings out this unnamed dog, and the kids love him. They play a game of catch, and look at the speed of these throws. Again, I'm thinking this dog might be some sort of athlete. He takes no time to adjust. He just catches the ball, spits it out, and is hit with another one straight away. This kid thinks she's the dog, but everyone's having a great time. The clown show is going well until the slightest mishap. He throws a balloon at the dog, and the dog hits a balloon back at him, and he acts like he's been hit with a car. This annoys him, and then we get a montage of the house being trashed and the party being ruined. At the end of the montage, the clown gets thrown out of the house. The camera pans back to the mum, which insinuates she picked this grown man up and flung him 10 feet out the door. As you can imagine, the clown blames the dog for everything going poorly because, believe it or not, this guy might not be a good person.
You're going to the pound!
What a line.
You're going to the pound!
So the clown is driving the dog to the pound, and whilst that's happening, the dog falls off the back of the car, and miraculously, he isn't hurt. But then a truck comes. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. 2K Sim coming soon. No, the truck swerves. But this SUV hits him. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. 2K, again, he's fine. I've got to question how the driver didn't see the box. There was a fair bit of time between the truck swerving and the SUV coming, yet she still hit the box. Can the people of this town just not drive? Is this an average day in Fernfield? Anyway, the dog gets out of the cage, they drive off, and just leave the box in the middle of the road. I can only imagine every other car in Fernfield will hit this as well. We follow the people in the SUV. This family is our main cast, the Fram family. They just moved to Fernfield. There's Jackie, the mum, Andrea, the baby sister, and Josh. Josh is the main character of Airbud, not the dog which the movie is named after. It's Josh Fram. Josh seems like a sad kid. We find out his dad had just passed away, and the newspaper that tells us this is very interesting. Not just because it repeats itself halfway through word for word, but also because if you actually pause and just read it, it doesn't just say, oh, the plane fell bad. It says, Captain Fram is best known for being the only man to break the sound barrier with a banana and a long sports sock. What does that mean? What could that possibly mean? The line after says he's the youngest of 18 pilots in his family. How is that even? This news article also mentions multiple dark points in history. It's kind of crazy that within the first 10 minutes of the funny dog basketball movie, mistakes like this are being left in. I feel like with a budget of $3 million, you could have just paid someone to write a news article. We learn that with his father's passing, Josh has become very introverted. He doesn't like people. He used to play basketball with his dad, but he stopped after his dad passed. We then go to Josh's new school in Fernfield. This is where we see the biggest mystery of Airbud, this man. We'll come back to him, but his character confuses me so much. They're trying to get Josh to join extracurricular activities because he has no friends, and something like chess club will just make him a god amongst men. He walks up to the activities board, and then a jump scare happens that genuinely got me on my first rewatch.
That was fun.
After school finishes for the day, on the walk back home, Josh finds this abandoned church with a basketball court out the back. He seems to just have a basketball on him, as we all do, and on a completely empty court, he has a shot. He sucks. Yeah, he really sucks. Let's not beat around the bush. This kid cannot play. The ball rolls into a bush, and the bush starts growling. What does he do? Does he run? Does he throw his bag at the bush? Does he yell at the bush? Or does he stand completely still? Yeah, of course, he stands completely still. There's a dog in the bush, but the dog runs away. And we'll skip to the next day. When Josh looked at the extracurricular board, one of the things on there was basketball tryouts, and Josh decided to try out, even though he didn't sign up. What's the point of a sign-up sheet if you don't have to sign up? I wouldn't let him. Except, even though Josh goes to the tryouts, he doesn't actually try out. He literally just sits there for like an hour. They tell everyone to get up and he just doesn't move. I feel like narrative-wise, they could have at least made him play and be bad, because he is. But we're supposed to believe he just sat there for all of tryouts without moving and no one said anything. Are you gonna play, kid? I mean, like, why are you here if you're not gonna get involved? It's lunch. You can just go eat. You know you don't have to be here. Hello? Are you in there? Damn, something is wrong with this kid. This is also where we meet the villain of the movie, Larry Willingham. He is definitely heavily inspired by Larry Bird, who, I hate to say it, is just kind of him. I know he's a bully and he's the bad guy of the movie, but so far, everyone in this movie sucks at basketball. It is refreshing to see someone who might actually be able to play at a better level. So as everyone is walking out of the gym, Josh gets met by the coach and told he's going to be the assistant coach.
You're new here, right? Well, I could use manager. Manager works his butt off. He arrives before the team, he leaves after the team. Think you can handle it? Practice is Friday afternoon. You be here.
What kind of interaction was that? After school, Josh goes and plays basketball at that abandoned church again, and he still sucks. Good thing he sat down that whole time. While Josh is playing, the dog comes out and eats Josh's yogurt. That sounds like a terrible euphemism. And Josh tries to How to Train Your Dragon the dog, but he runs away, and then he misses again. So he goes home, and they go straight back to the church, and this time he comes back with all of the yogurt cups his mom has bought him for like the next 2 months. I'd get it if he went to the shops, but he went home. How many of these were in his fridge? Anyway, the dog comes out, eats the yogurt. They become friends for life. It's beautiful. Until the forced conflict of the film.
Go! I don't want you anymore!
It's decided that this unnamed dog will be called Buddy, named after the dog from Airbud. Maybe this is some sort of athlete. Is this joke getting boring yet? Josh brings Buddy home and takes him to the bath to clean him up. At some point between the front door and the bathroom, Josh gets changed into a full raincoat with a hat and gumboots on. I don't know why. You're bathing a dog, not watching a boat go down a sewer. Anyway, he bathes the dog, brushes his teeth. It's all going well until the mum gets home. Josh's mum has no idea there's a stray dog in her bathroom right now, and before Josh can tell his mum, Buddy destroys the entire house. I hate to say it, maybe the clown is right. This is the second time in like 3 days the dog has destroyed a house just by being there. Even if you don't think the first one was his fault, who are you gonna blame on the second one? The basketball? Josh's mom makes Josh put up these missing dog flyers, which for the most part, Buddy just rips straight back down. And they eventually agree Buddy can stay with them until Christmas. If the owner doesn't come to get him after Christmas,
You're going to the pound!
so Josh goes to school, and his job as the team manager is really just a water boy. He's also getting bullied by the team's best player, Larry Willingham.
What's the matter, water boy?
While Josh is doing the team's laundry, he finds a detail about the mystery man from before. So the mystery man is actually the school janitor. So far, we've only heard him be called Art.
Night, Art.
Right.
And Art is actually short for Arthur. Josh finds a New York Knicks jersey in Arthur's cupboard, and it confuses Josh, and that confuses me. My first thought when I saw the jersey was, oh, the janitor is a Knicks fan. Cool. He has a jersey of his favorite team. That's pretty normal. I have a Pistons jersey. It doesn't mean Dennis Rodman was rebounding it back to me in the late 80s. It just means I'm a fan of that team. It makes sense that I own my favorite team's merchandise. This is also the late 90s. I think it'd be very normal to see New York Knicks jerseys running around. Again, I would assume it's just always a fan. But it turns out the janitor used to play pro basketball for the Knicks. His name is Arthur Chaney, and Josh even has a playing card of his. So Arthur Chaney is a retired New York Knick who retired in 1956, and in 1997 is a school janitor who isn't known, isn't recognized, and even claims that Arthur Chaney is dead.
Could you sign this?
You think this is me? That guy's dead. Died a long time ago.
Thanks anyway.
You know, I could believe that. He might have just wanted to move on with his life and leave that chapter behind. But why would you keep a jersey at the school you work at? He clearly still has some sort of fondness for this chapter of his life, because why else would you keep this at the school that you work at? But then why claim that that man is dead? And why later in this film admit that that is you? At first, they act like it has nothing to do with the plot. He's just a background guy for the first half of the film. But then they have this moment which changes everything. They have this 70-year-old man dribble and look more mobile than active pros like Jackson Hayes. You could make this entire film with him not being a retired pro and just being like a chill janitor, and it wouldn't change, except they add moments like this to affirm this is a former pro, not just some boring janitor. No, he's not a normal man. He's a cool 70-year-old janitor. He used to play for the Knicks. Isn't he so cool? Look how he moves. It just feels like such a strange addition to the already strange film about a dog that plays basketball, and it is definitely a strange thing to just hide in the background of this film. In 2070, when they remake this film, is Karl Anthony Towns going to be the janitor? Anyway, some of the kids on the basketball team move schools, which means the team now has 2 openings. How convenient. Josh gets invited to try out by the janitor, and he practices with Buddy beforehand. And this is the first time we see Buddy is genuinely better than Josh. In this film, the dog doesn't miss a single shot and scores more than Josh throughout the entire film, which is a crazy detail. When you consider Josh is the main character and is on screen for like an hour 20 of this film, whereas Buddy is probably only on screen for like 25 minutes. Yet the dog outscores the kid. Couldn't be me. We then go straight to the trials, and only Josh is trying out, not Buddy. I think Josh knew that Buddy would get his place in the team. Anyway, so Josh gets the ball, and I'm expecting him to stink it up, and suddenly he does this. Where did that come from? This kid can't score unmarked, and then he's 2016 Kyrie Irving. Did Arthur Chaney possess him? Like, what happened? Believe it or not, very soon Josh goes back to being terrible at basketball. But this scene does confuse me, because are we supposed to believe he's got that in him this whole time? So Josh makes the team, and then we go straight into the first game. Before the game starts, we get to meet one person from the team, Tom. Tom's full name is Tom Stewart. He gets called Stewart by the coach. Tom is a little bit weird.
This always brought me good luck. You should carry it tonight. An orange peel. Not just any orange peel. Scottie Pippen dropped his orange peel at the Sonics game. I picked it up.
I can't take this, Tom.
It's okay. I got this out of Sean Kemp's trash.
I like Tom. It gives someone that Josh can talk to because he sucks at dialogue in this film.
Think you can handle it? Practice is Friday afternoon. You be here.
So even just looking at Tom in the context of how it changes Josh's behavior, giving someone that Josh can talk to really adds an element to both of their characters. Because again, every other character that Josh interacts with, other than his mum and his dog, he struggles to talk to. So by adding this weird character that Josh might feel socially above, gives him cues to do little eyebrow raises or make funny faces at, because every other character in this show feels like they're kind of either bullying him or lying to him,
That guy's dead.
or they're related to him, or he's a dog. So finally we have someone that is just a kid, is just a second version of Josh, and I appreciate that. But both of these kids are clearly being bullied by Larry Willingham.
Water boy. Just stay out of my way.
This kid went on to be Kevin Garnett. So the game starts, and straight away, Larry's cutting up. You can't make me hate a guy when he plays this good. That is not true. There is definitely exceptions to that rule. Anyway, so Larry's dad comes to the games, and he is just like you would expect. And this humanizes Larry even more for me. I don't think Larry is a bad kid. I think Larry has a bad dad and acts out, which is normally the story for kids like Larry. Tom fumbles the ball. Look at how it annoys the coach. So Josh gets subbed on, and just as Josh is getting his big moment, Buddy sneaks into the school. Now, for the third time in this film, they do another one of these disaster montages. And again, this dog just attracts destruction. And the choreography of the last two, not that bad. This one though, horrible. The way things happen doesn't make sense. So it starts with Buddy knocking a ball into a desk, and realistically, the ball would have stopped right here. You've knocked the ball down, it would have just fell flat. There is no montage. He knocks into a desk, and we continue playing. But now suddenly the ball is a meter up in the air and bouncing with speed. Everyone is chasing Buddy. The whole crowd is laughing. People are running into each other. Refs are passing out for some reason. You're a grown man. Stop. And in the middle of all this commotion, the dog scores. Which means he scored for this team before Josh does. Again, this couldn't be me. This whole scene is just really sloppy, and you could tell that they didn't have the budget to reshoot it. But even the things which they meant to do are a bit sloppy in this. Like the crowd, for example. They are having a great time the whole time the dog's running around. Clearly cheering and enjoying everything. When the dog shoots, they all stop celebrating. And then start again. This isn't how crowds of people react. Like, they all might gasp or something, right? If it's like when Jaden Philogene actually did that shot. It's pretty normal for crowds to go quiet and then erupt straight away, but they all just stay quiet for too long. Completely ruins the immersion of the dog basketball movie. Buddy is escorted from the gym, and we don't get a resolution to the game, so I guess the game just got cancelled. So on the way out of school, Buddy is being treated like a celebrity.
I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own 2 eyes.
Like he's the star of a movie from 1997 or something. Everyone loved watching him cause havoc, and now they want him to be the mascot and perform at halftime. Just as this is happening, Buddy runs away and everyone goes and follows him. And this is where we get the second instance of that one word I just don't think I could say in a YouTube video.
You can do that. Just meet the ball. Catch the ball. Just.
What's going on here?
Just running time through a little drill.
That'll be enough, Joe. That'll be enough.
What a strange theme to be running through this movie. Anyway, so the PE teacher gets sacked, as he should, and they need a new coach. Who are they going to hire? Arthur Chaney. They hire the school janitor to be the new basketball coach. And some of the techniques he has to coaching, I would be like, this guy's got no idea. But because he apparently played against Bill Russell, I've just got to accept it. He probably knows what he's talking about. He gets the kids to pass this fake imaginary ball to practice teamwork. And in my head, I'm thinking, just give him a ball. You know, just tell them to pass a real ball. Just tell them they have to get like 10 passes before they could shoot. And Larry doesn't like the new coach, so we cut to the next game and Larry keeps being selfish. He gets pulled out of the game by the coach, and Larry's dad is fuming.
Larry! Out.
What? Why are you taking me out?
Josh going in for Larry.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Time, ref!
Why are you taking my kid out?
Because he's playing like a one-man team.
This boy is the team.
Maybe he is to a worked-up father, but to me, he's a player who's got a whole lot to learn. Now, I'll kindly ask you to take your seat, Mr. Willingham, and let me get back to coaching my team.
Come on, Larry. We're leaving.
Dad.
Now!
Again, I quite like Larry. I actually don't think Larry is the bad guy. I think Larry's dad is. And again, I'm getting that word that I can't say from him. This is the third instance of... To focus on the game now, because we haven't done one of these, the Timberwolves are down by 2 with 15 seconds left. Tommy has the ball here on the left side, he fakes his defender, and let's just pause it here. In this situation, they're down by 2 points with 15 seconds left. He has a completely open lane. He could run through here and get a guaranteed layup. In a real game scenario, there isn't a second that I would think about doing anything other than just running up here, laying the ball up, getting the team to overtime. 100 out of 100 times, I would run up here and just take the layup. It is so obvious to anyone that has ever played basketball, this is the right thing to do. Again, this would be an uncontested layup, but now we have this idea that we could cut it back to Josh Fram for an uncontested three-pointer, but a risky shot, especially when Josh sucks. Before I show you what happens with this play, you might remember from the Troy Bolton video we did, I looked at a very similar play. 7 seconds to score 2 points. Troy is on the edge of the three-point line. He fakes right and passes left. Now, number 3 has time and space to score a wide-open, game-winning 3 in front of college scouts. This could be the shot that puts him on the map, sends him to the NBA, and gives his family generational wealth. But he waits for Troy Bolton to be open so he can shoot a contested mid-range jump shot. Why? The guys in High School Musical are much better than these children in Airbud. At this level, with this talent around him, the only person I'd be cutting the ball back to is Larry, and he left the gym 20 minutes ago. I wouldn't pass to anyone, I'd go and get my layup. But Tom gives the ball to Josh. Game on the line, what does he do? This kid is so bad. Remember when I made the Troy Bolton could he make it to the NBA video? It wouldn't take 9 minutes with this. The answer is no. No, Josh Fram sucks. Just because he did the Jordan signature shimmy before, it doesn't change anything. This kid cannot play. The next few minutes we get a montage of Josh playing basketball. We also find out that Larry left the school to join the Spokane Warriors, and Buddy is now doing the halftime shows like we talked about before. We get another news article, and I'm not going to read this one for as long this time. It does repeat itself again, and if you read it, it talks about pulling someone out of a lake and two. Some of it's in broken English, but it's all in there. Again, could we not have just wrote dog made team play good? Why are we writing about interrogation and so the main part of the newspaper is that Buddy is the team mascot. It even makes it onto the news on TV. And because of this, the evil clown man from the start of the film sees this, wants to claim back the golden retriever so he can make money off him. And he shows up at Josh's house.
Oh. Sorry to disturb you. Name's Norm Snively. I believe you got my dog.
Even though the pamphlets didn't have an exact address, they had a phone number and a rough vicinity, somehow Clown Man just knows the exact house. Josh walks home as this conversation is happening, doesn't really know what's going on, but it's quite sad. The dog is taken away from Josh and the movie's over. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. 2K Sim coming soon. This really upsets Josh, and he puts a rag of buddies next to a picture of his dead dad, which I feel is slightly extreme. Josh ends up finding Buddy in like the next scene, and Josh helps Buddy escape from the Clown Man. So the Clown Man wants to like sell out with Buddy. He wants to force him to do beer commercials and just make money off him, which is bad. We don't like that. So Josh helps Buddy escape, but Buddy is tied with a chain. Buddy jumps over this fence right as the Clown Man figures out what's going on and grabs the chain. Now you can see how tight the chain is from the dog's perspective. This is a tight chain. There's not much give to it, right? Whereas on the other side, on the Clown Man's perspective, this is a very loose chain. So on one side it's incredibly tight, and on the other side it's incredibly loose. So you get this scene of the evil Clown Man pulling the chain and pulling really hard, and it's not affecting the dog at all. How did they get? Yeah, that looks great. Let's put that in the film. So they get away and the Clown Man chases them.
When I'm with you.
He rips the car door off, jumps on it because that's what you do when you're in a chase. As he's driving after the children, his car falls apart and he ends up crashing into the water. This should have been the end of Clown Man. He's not gone. He comes back and ruins the ending of this film, but we'll get to that. So Josh has just saved Buddy from a bad person. Amazing. Take him home, be the good owner that you can be. But Josh knows if he takes Buddy home, the Clown Man was just going to come and claim him again. So Josh takes Buddy out to this swamp and abandons him there.
So I'm gonna set you free. Go on, buddy. You're free now. Come on. Buddy, get. Please, buddy. Go. Get. Go. Get out of here. Don't you understand? Get. I don't want you anymore. Get. You want to play, buddy?
So he throws this ball, runs away, and the dog is just going to be stranded in a swamp. Why? The whole town loves this dog. You couldn't ask Tom to look after him, or better yet, you couldn't have taken him back to that abandoned church that he stayed at for days and just continued to see him. You couldn't have built him a little shelter there. Why is the best solution to abandon him in a barren swamp? I don't think abandoning him is the right move. Anyway, Josh runs away from the swamp and goes straight into a basketball game. And this is actually the final basketball game of the movie. It's the championship game. Josh is nervous, so Tom brought him another NBA player's item for good luck, and it's Dennis Rodman's Juicy Fruit.
It's okay. I'm packing Dennis Rodman's Juicy Fruit.
I would not put this anywhere near my skin. You will turn green. And who's the other team? The Spokane Warriors. And their star player is Larry Willingham. I gotta say, I wasn't expecting this. By this point in the film, I was still focused on the fact that he just left Buddy in a swamp. So to just see Larry again was a bit like, oh damn, we're back. Hey. Also, the Spokane Warriors, we already versed them this season. So the championship game is the Timberwolves versus the Warriors. And so far, Larry is given belt. He's the main man on this Warriors team. And I'd pretty confidently say he drops like 50 points in this game. So the Timberwolves are down 56 to 72. The Timberwolves are struggling with injuries and with fouls. And at one point, they only have 4 players that can play. And you're meant to have 5 at all times. This one kid says that they should just forfeit.
It's over, coach. Let's forfeit.
The championship game and you just want to forfeit? Just when it looks like they're all losing hope, Buddy enters the gym. When I say the crowd loses it, I mean it. This is the loudest they are in like the entire film. And it's just the dog entering the gym. Keep in mind, he's the halftime act. Yet the whole gym is like, oh my God, he's here again. Even Josh is really excited to see him. Forgetting last time he saw him, he left him in a swamp. And Arthur Chaney comes up with the idea that Airbud is going to play on the team. He's going to be the 5th man on this squad. This is Airbud's first game of the film. And there is 10 minutes left. How are they going to come up with this being okay? And this is what they say.
You check in your rule book, but you won't find anything in there that says a dog can't play.
He's right. Ain't no rule said the dog can't play basketball.
He didn't say I couldn't do it though. So Buddy checks in and straight away he gets a steal and then an assist. Is Airbud the GOAT? Next possession, another steal, 2 points. He wins a jump ball.
Come on, you ready? Here we go.
He gets another steal, another assist, another 2 points. Another 2 points, another assist. Another 2 points, another assist. Another steal, another steal. He gets fouled by Larry, but then he makes both free throws. Final possession now. He hits Larry Willingham. Definitely a foul, but is what it is. Again, we're going to count that as a steal. The score is 80 to 82. The Timberwolves have gone on a great run to get the game this close. Josh has the ball on the 3-point line. This could win them the championship. All he has to do is make the shot this time. No, I'm joking. That was last time. Again, a 3-pointer would win them the school championship. All he has to do is make it. Okay, again, that was last time. The Timberwolves win. The crowd goes wild. Buddy's happy. Josh is happy. The movie should end right here. But the film doesn't end there. In the basketball dog movie, where the dog just helped the basketball team win the basketball game, they choose, this isn't how we're going to end it. Let's end it in court. So we reset from the high that we just got up to now have to listen to a court scene with 5 minutes left in the film. The evil clown man wants the dog back and takes a child to court for custody of a dog. To sum this ending up, the judge is about to say the dog has to go back with the clown because that's his rightful owner. And Arthur Chaney walks in and the judge is starstruck. He remembers this possibly niche basketball player from 40 years ago. Arthur Chaney suggests just letting the dog pick who he goes with. He starts walking over towards the clown and then he whoops him. And then he chooses Josh and the world celebrates and the movie is done. Airbud 1 finished. It's now been a few days since I recorded this video, and I want to just give a small retrospective on Airbud as a whole. For what the movie is, I think it does a good enough job at it. It is a fun dog basketball film. There are some strange undertones in this movie, and also small details like the newspaper things. I think it could have been better in terms of being a child-friendly movie, but you know what? It is what it is. The movie is nearly 30 years old now. It's too late to change it. If I had to give the movie credit for doing anything on a deep level, I like the fact that it takes characters out of the bad circumstance they were originally presented in and gives them happy endings. Obviously, I'm making this video to kind of give some backstory because I'm working on a 2K simulation to go alongside this, and there is going to be references to the movie. And if you're like me, you probably forgot the original movie and just remembered dog basketball. You might have forgot Larry's entire existence and Arthur Chaney's entire existence. So I wanted to make a video kind of to be able to reference back to with that simulation series. Overall, I just like the movie. I think that it had sequel potential, maybe not 15 movies potential, but definitely had sequel potential. I would have preferred to have seen a basketball sequel though, then a complete rebrand to a different sport, and then 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 a different sport. But other than that, I mean, what can you really say?